If your cat checks on you, this is what it means. Your cat just walked into the room, looked at you, and left without doing anything. No meowing, no asking for food. Just appeared, stared at you for a few seconds, and disappeared again. Most people laugh it off. Oh, that's just my weird cat doing weird cat things. But what if that tiny, silent moment was actually one of the most meaningful things your cat does all day? Because here's what almost nobody realizes. That little visit wasn't random. It wasn't boredom. And it definitely wasn't weird. There are specific reasons why cats do this. And at least one of them will completely change the way you see your cat. One of them even traces back to something you did first, without ever realizing it. Let's get into it. When your cat walks into a room, glances around, makes eye contact with you, and quietly leaves, that's not aimless wandering. That's a patrol. Cats are wired, deep in their instincts, to monitor their environment for anything that feels wrong. A sound out of place. A smell that's unfamiliar, a shift in the energy of a space. In the wild, that instinct keeps them alive. But here's what changes the moment a cat bonds with a person. You become part of their territory. Not just the couch, not just the sunny spot by the window. You, the human. You are now one of the most important things in their world that they feel responsible for keeping an eye on. So that quick pop-in, where they scan the room, clock your location, and head back out, that's a security check. They're confirming you're okay. Nothing looks off, and their job is done for now. Research from Oregon State University found that the majority of domestic cats form what's called a secure attachment to their owners, the same type of emotional bond we see between young children and their caregivers. And when that bond is real, it comes with a sense of responsibility. Your cat isn't just comfortable around you. In their mind, they're watching out for you. That little visit means, I checked, you're fine. I'll check again later. And that leads into something even more interesting. Because your cat isn't just watching your physical safety. They're watching you. Have you ever had one of those days where you're not falling apart, but you're just not great? And somehow, without you saying a word, your cat ended up right next to you? That's not coincidence. Your cat picked up on something in you before you even fully processed it yourself. Cats are remarkably tuned in to the people they live with. They notice the way your breathing shifts when you're tense, the slight change in your posture, the flatness in your voice, the way you move through the house differently when something is weighing on you. And when they detect that shift, they don't ignore it. They come find you. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition showed that cats actively adjust their behavior based on their owner's emotional state. When owners showed signs of distress, their cats were significantly more likely to move closer, stay nearby, or position themselves where they could watch the person directly. This isn't your cat being nosy. This is your cat responding. They registered a change in you and made a deliberate choice to show up because of it. That quiet, uninvited visit on a hard day is your cat saying, I notice something's different. I'm here. And hey, if you're seeing your cat in a completely new light right now, hit the like button. Because this kind of content takes real research to put together. And if you want to keep understanding what your cat is actually communicating, subscribe to Whisker Diary. We break down cat behavior in a way that genuinely makes sense. And there's a lot more coming, okay? Back to it. because the next part is something most cat owners have truly never thought about. Beyond the emotional check-ins, some of those visits are actually about something much more physical, and it has to do with scent. When your cat doesn't just look at you, but walks over, rubs their face or body against you, and then leaves. That's not just affection. Well, it is affection, but it's also something else entirely. Cats have scent glands along their cheeks, their forehead, and the base of their tail. When they press against you, they're depositing pheromones, invisible to you, but perfectly clear to any other animal. What they're doing, in the most literal sense, is marking you as theirs. Here's the part most people don't know, that scent fades over time. It doesn't last forever, which means your cat has to come back and refresh it. A lot of those so-called random visits are actually maintenance runs. Your cat walks in, does a quick remark, and heads back out satisfied. From your perspective, it looked like a sweet little moment. From your cat's perspective, they just renewed the paperwork. And you'll notice this behavior tends to increase after you've been outside or around other animals, or anywhere that left you smelling unfamiliar. You came home scented wrong, and your cat is absolutely not going to let that stand. It's not jealousy exactly. It's something more primal. It's a cat who needs the world, or at least their world, to know that you belong to them. Now, alongside all of that, there's also something quieter happening, something more anxiety-driven than territorial. Think about this scenario. You've been sitting in one room for a while, not making much noise, just existing, and suddenly your cat appears, glances at you, and vanishes again. Behaviorists call this the secure base effect. Your cat uses your presence as an emotional anchor. As long as they know where you are, they feel settled enough to go about their own life, napping, exploring, doing whatever cats do. But the moment that certainty breaks, even just from a long stretch of unusual silence, a quiet internal alarm trips, and they come looking. The same Oregon State study found that when owners left a room and came back, the majority of cats relaxed almost immediately upon their return. That's not a mild preference. That's a cat whose entire sense of safety is built around knowing you're accessible. So those check-ins where they peek in, confirm you're there, and immediately disappear again, they're not being clingy. They're resetting. Still there. Good. I can relax now. But here's where it gets really interesting, because your cat isn't just reacting to you passively. They've also been actively learning from you. Think about what happens on your end every time your cat checks in. You probably glance over, maybe say their name, maybe give them a quick scratch. It feels completely automatic. But your cat has been logging every single one of those responses. Every time they show up and get a reaction from you, even just eye contact, even just a glance, their brain registers it. That worked. That visit was worth something. Attention, touch, acknowledgement, it all counts. And the more consistently you respond, the more reliably your cat repeats the behavior. This is essentially operant conditioning at work. A behavior that earns a reward gets repeated. Your cat didn't study this in a textbook. They just ran the experiment. You responded, and the pattern locked in. What looks like your cat simply caring about you is also, quietly, a learned strategy. They come back because every single time they do, you prove it was worth the trip. And that brings us to the piece that tends to genuinely stop people in their tracks, because this behavior didn't originate with your cat. It originated with you. How many times a day do you check on your cat without even thinking about it? You walk past the couch and glance over to see if they're there. You peek into the room where they're sleeping. You call their name just to hear where they are. It's become so automatic that you probably don't even register it as behavior anymore. It just feels like breathing. But your cat noticed every single time. Cats are careful social observers. They watch the people they're bonded to, their rhythms, their routines, the things they do on repeat. And when your cat realized that you kept coming to find them, something shifted. They started doing it back. This is called behavioral mirroring, and it's considered one of the most meaningful signs of a genuine bond between a cat and their owner. It doesn't just mean your cat feels safe with you. It means they studied you. They absorbed one of your habits and reflected it back in the only language available to them. So the next time your cat wanders in, holds eye contact for a few quiet seconds, and slips back out, you know what you're looking at now. That behavior started with you. Every time you checked on them, every time you called their name, just to know they were okay, you were showing them something. You were teaching them, without a single word, that showing up for someone you care about is just what you do. And they learned it perfectly. If this gave you a new way of seeing those little moments with your cat, drop a comment below. I'd love to know which one surprised you most. And if you want to keep understanding what's really going on inside your cat's head, make sure you subscribe to Whisker Diary. There's a lot more to unpack. See you in the next one.